Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to day 7. So funny thing happened. I already filmed day 8 because I honestly thought I was in day 8. So day 8 is gonna come out tomorrow because it's already been filmed and edited. So day 7, we're gonna very quickly look at the Azure nodes, pretty much the equivalent of what we already used before. And I did promise I was going to show you how to work with those, so I'm going to do that now. So if we just search for Azure, we can see there's the OpenAI Authenticator node, there is the LLM connector node, the chat model connector, and there's also the embeddings connector node as well. So we're going to start with the authenticator, and I'm also going to show you the LLM connector node as well in the same video. And then you can also use the other nodes that we looked at before. You can use them as well, because these are the ones that are specific to Azure only. Okay, so the first thing you need to have a series of things. Now, if you have access to your Azure, you can go ahead and grab those from Azure, and I'll show you exactly where you get them from. If you don't, then you need to contact your IT to get you this information, and they should be able to get them to you. So we also need to authenticate ourselves using an API key like we did on the OpenAI side. So I've just copied that credentials configuration node, and then I'm going to change the key. So going to Azure, this is my Azure, and here are my resources. I'm going to select the resource, which is my Azure OpenAI resource, and I'm going to go to keys and endpoint. I'm going to copy a key, and this is the first piece of information we need here. So I'm just going to overwrite this key I have here, which is my OpenAI key, and I'm going to paste my Azure key here. And then I'm going to connect this to the authenticator node and select here the flow variable credentials, which has that API key. Next thing we need is the Azure resource endpoint. If we go back to Azure, you can see here there's the endpoint. Copy that, go back to KNIME, and paste it. Azure API version, the default usually works, so I'm just going to leave that. Click on OK and run this. Okay, it's green. That shows me I've been authenticated successfully. Now I'm gonna connect this to the LLM connector node, and here it needs to have the deployment name. So the deployment name, you're gonna find that in the OpenAI Playground on Azure. So if you go to Overview and you go to Azure OpenAI Studio, this is where you actually deploy models. So going to the deployment is going to show you your deployed models, and this is the one that we want, the GPT-3.5 Turbo. You can also deploy the GPT-4 model or the GPT-4 Turbo model as well. I only have this one deployed, and I also have an embedded model deployed as well. So if I was trying to do some embeddings using the embedding connector, then I would put the information for that embeddings model there. Okay, so I'm just going to leave these as a default, but of course you can change them. Let's say you wanted to get longer responses and you wanted something super creative, then you can like change those. Click on OK and run this, and see, that works. That brings us to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and you're going to have day 8 tomorrow around this time as well. Hope you have a great day. Goodbye.